addictioncenter.com. You can go online and retrieve this article. And so tonight's title is, voila, it's scrolling at the bottom of your screen, and it says Family Therapy for Addiction Treatment. Right? Once again, this is our family meeting. And so I will start us off by first topic of discussion. What is family therapy? I'm glad you asked. All right, so family therapy is a talk therapy for family members and couples who want to improve their relationship. Its goal include decreasing stress, increasing coping skills, helping families work together to resolve problems. Family therapy for addiction treatment helps family members recognize how they influence the behaviors of members who misuse substances. It also helps them learn how to respond differently, which can lead to positive change. That's the goal, is to transform to positive changes. As an addiction counselor, now this is an article. I am not an addiction counselor. Are you, Sherry?
No.
Sherry, what about you? Michelle. So neither one of us are a addiction counselor, but this article states, as an addiction counselor, I work with many family members, and one of the most common focused areas was teaching them the difference between enabling and helping behaviors. Family members often don't realize they enable addiction behaviors to relieve the stress and painful emotions they feel. For an example, enabling stops the begging or verbal abuse from their loved ones that causes them anxiety and hurt. It becomes easier to give in. Enabling also allows their loved ones to continue misusing substances that may lead to adverse consequences. Anyone familiar with that word? Adverse consequences. All right. So let me share a little light. Adverse is defined as negative consequences. All right. Family members help each member gain confidence, set healthy boundaries, and apply new skills to assist their loved ones in getting the help they need. Right. So this reminds me of changing the outlook and outcome of family relationship, interrelationships, the whole family dynamic from that of negative into a positive through the scope of family therapy. Anyone would like to read the second one?
Sure, I will.
Okay.
How does family therapy in addiction treatment work? Family therapy in addiction treatment is a process involving different stages of growth and learning, and understand family dynamics, strengths, and weaknesses, and areas for improvement. Together, they create a treatment plan focusing on positive changes to address a family member's addiction and any personal mental health issues. Family therapists utilize various methods to teach clients healthy coping skills, build support, resolve conflicts, and strengthen family bonds. Because the family is the client, therapists help set family goals and take steps to reach their goals. Therapists also facilitate and monitor progress.
All right, so it's not only just the addiction aspect. This article makes mention of personal mental health issues, because a lot of people are not aware that most people who use substances, oftentimes from years of learning this over the years, that people mask certain issues that they don't have the coping skills to deal with. It could be trauma, abandonment, abuse. Right? They could have witnessed traumas, or they could have experienced some trauma. And so a lot of times, as family members, they may be wondering, why if my loved one is using drugs, what is going on. And that's why it's all so important to
aware of the whole situation. That usually, at times, people don't like to share when they're going through addiction or they have mental health issues. So it helps the family set boundaries, helps them not to enable the individual. So it's a good thing when you have the family members there, and it's like a safe zone for the family and the addict.
Yeah, and so that is so important. Oftentimes, I'm not sure if that the family dynamic of therapy is being advertised or promoted like it should.
I know in facilities, if it's an inpatient, families are called in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When I know one facility where my son was housed because my son was an addict, and they called the family in for a group session, and it was a safe zone so they could explain everything that my son was going through.
Nice.
And what we were to conquer. Now, I know they also helped him with mental health issues. So it was, then they set up a plan before he was released.
Okay, like
medication, sleeping, everything that he needed to do. They have a whole plan.
A treatment plan.
Yes, it's a treatment plan.
Yeah.
And that's out of state too. Out of state they do it too.
Yeah. I remember when I was in a therapeutic community for my substance abuse issue. And so after I went through the 3 phases, we had orientation, main treatment, and reentry phase. And so she says, yes, you're moving on right along to the next stage of your life, but there is what we call an continuum of care. And the continuum of care is...
Yeah, so they don't just drop you and you're kind of lost.
Yeah, don't think you just, because a lot of times we get people that's coming out of residential treatment, and they may say, I did the detox 5 to 7 days. I did the residential treatments 28 to 30 days or whatever. I'm good. I don't need no more treatment or no aftercare.
I know that when he was in rehab, they had to work with him for so many weeks, and then he had to agree for for the family to come in. Okay. So it was more of a structured thing that helped him move along. Okay,
yeah. To assist them with the continuum.
Coping skills, life skills.
Right. Readjusting.
People, places, things.
Yeah. So a lot of times we need that family dynamic or family support, that network.
And they needed to know where he was going to go when he was released. Yeah. That's very important.
That's very important because most people don't understand that relapse is part of addiction. People do relapse, but that don't mean that we have to continue to relapse, but it happens, all right? And so as long as we get some clarity on this whole thing about addiction and the family. Now, we just read, how does family therapy and addiction treatment work? Now we want to go a little further and discuss family therapy and inpatient and outpatient rehab. Would you like to read a little bit?
Sure, I will. Sure. Family therapy in inpatient, outpatient rehab. Rules for family visits will vary among inpatient and outpatient rehabs. However, family therapy is one of the best ways to get involved and show support for a loved one's recovery. Typically, residents entering in an inpatient program cannot see or talk to family members for the first few days, a week, or longer. In the initial stages of treatment, the focus must be on physically and mentally stabilizing. This also gives your family time to adjust to changes. Your therapist may start family therapy when they feel confident you are committed to recovery and the process and motivated Your therapist may start family therapy when they feel confident you are committed to recovery and the process and motivated to make healthy changes. In outpatient treatment programs, participants may still be living with family, which makes family therapy crucial. Most addiction treatment programs incorporate family therapy at least once a month, sometimes more. The family attends therapy at the treatment center in designated areas. Your treatment team will determine when it is best to begin family therapy, which involves various treatment techniques chosen by a licensed therapist.
A licensed therapist. All right. Now the recovery coach. All right. Now the sponsor. This article makes mention of a licensed therapist, someone who went to school, who acquired education, and who basically using evidence-based techniques.
Also, because there's medication that they may be released with.
Got you. And you touched on it before Michelle even read on it. I believe both of y'all touched on the, as this article says, when the professional people think that the person who's in recovery is ready to move further with their recovery process, then the family is brought in.
Right. And that, that comes with, because the individual is feeling guilt, what they put their family through. They know that their family's upset. They may feel that, they're not wanted or loved. So there's a lot of mixed emotions on that, the addict side and the family side, guilt. And, I did those things when I was using, but the family needs to know that wasn't my child at that time.
That's right.
So there's two, you both have to be ready to be able to do that family. So there's no conflicts, no barriers. You have to be able to feel comfortable talking, and there's no yelling and screaming.
Yeah. But it sounds like what I'm hearing is there's the beginning of healing by forgiveness.
Correct.
Okay, I understand that person, my loved one, was intoxicated or on the addiction phase of their life, but now they have clear-headed, they're more sober.
Right.
Now their reasoning is more up the par.
I mean, in my situation, he stole, from family. I didn't understand that at first, but now I understand that he was stealing because he needed to have that next fix because he had mental issues and he had, different issues. And that takes a lot of forgiveness to handle on both ends, because he's feeling guilty of what he did. And I'm feeling, oh, how did you do that to us?
Yeah. And so it's not justification, it's just,
owning it,
right? Taking responsibility. Mr. Serrano.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi.
All right.
I'm doing well.
All right, good. You see, I have company. Well, you can see one of my guests. I have another young lady, Michelle.
Hello, how are you?
I'm Sherry.
I'm good.
You got Michelle, you got Sherry, got a whole team tonight, man. And it's good to see you, man. You're looking good. How you doing? Fine?
I'm doing well. Started working at the University of Rowan. So everything's
All
good.
right, well, congratulations.
Yes, that's awesome.
That's great, man. Yeah. First day?
Yesterday was my first day. Kind of finally got a job that's in my area of expertise. So I'm kind of excited about
What
that.
are you doing, if you don't mind me asking?
I do maintenance and custodial maintenance and maintenance work, building maintenance work.
Awesome. Congratulations.
And so these young ladies here, they are people who work in the workforce development.
Workforce, New Jersey.
Workforce, New Jersey.
The economic building.
The economic building. So they know a lot about the employment aspect and linking families or people up to employment and things of that nature. But they also are doing the family meetings here. What's the name of the group that y'all normally do?
Mothers Left Behind.
Mothers Left Behind
Mothers Left Behind
for loved ones.
for loved ones. And so they know firsthand what it's like to lose a loved one and what it is to go through as a family member. So they're here sharing their knowledge and experiences. And so we just sitting here going over a lot of information. And so we all can learn something from each other.
How's your mother and you doing? Better?
We have our moments still, but we're doing a lot better. It's just, you know, for me, it's just, I know what I've done, and I know it's going to take time. It's just, I get angry at the way she comes off with things. It's just like, she'll say certain things in the moments like, yeah, you really didn't have to say that now, or like in front of them. You know, it's just kind of, she's still learning, you know, like my quirks, what kind of upsets me, you know, like, you know, today we had a little incident, but I calmed down and I told her, like, I just didn't like the way you said it in front of certain so-and-so. Like, I don't mind that you're saying that. I just would rather me and you have a conversation and not let everybody else into our, you know, I said like boundaries. Like certain people don't need to know what goes on behind our closed doors, you know? And stuff. But, you know, we're doing well. You know, the only problem I still have is because, you know, my mother already lost my sister due to medical conditions, so I'm the only child left. So she gets afraid every time I step out the house, every time, you know, because, you know, she thinks I'm going to revert back, you know, and you know, she worries. She worries to death.
Just remember, mother's love's unconditional, and we always worry.
I'm myself, so I know. I mean, I have a 17-year-old daughter, so I worry all the time, you know, but I understand her in that aspect, but like, you know, like I have the problem where she sometimes the other day, I want to say a while back, we had a little issue where, you know, I was upset. You know, I'm going through my emotions. I have my emotions. I have my days. You know, I take it, you know, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like I've been doing well, but like I have my moments where like, you know, like urges and thoughts, and you know, I'm battling it myself. So I'm in a bad mood mentally, you know. And she'll come off, and I kind of come at her, you know, with a little bit of a tude, you know. And you know, she's like, oh, you're on that stuff again. And then it just kind of upsets me because it's like, yo, I'm trying so hard not to do that, and then you're automatically accusing me of doing something when I'm like, you know, like I'm showing you that I'm not, giving you the proof, giving you that I'm not. She always do that, and it upsets me. But I understand where she's coming from because
it's fear.
For so long, I've done that, you know. So it's just become a pattern to her.
It's fear, and it's hard to get over that fear, and it's going to take time. And when you get home from work, like I had suggested before, when you get home, just tell her, hey, Mom, I had a rough day. I just need at least 15 minutes to adjust, and then I'll come out and I'll talk. And if you do that every day, then she'll get used to giving you that time for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I've done that with her. We've tried a lot. And I've also gotten to the point of being more considerate of letting her know if I'm out, listen, I'll hit you up, I'll call her, listen, I'm here, just so you know. I'll be home in 5 minutes, I'll be home in 10 minutes. You know, just to let her know I'm not nowhere I'm not supposed to be.
And that's good on your part. That's very good on your part.
That's a part of regaining trust. And so I commend you, Mr. Serrano, for that. Happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you, likewise.
Yeah, thank you. And I see you have your Roaring University work shirt. Man, you're doing it, man. You're doing it.
You know, I worked for the Volunteer Board of Education for 15 years, and I ruined my pension, and I get to restart it. So
Amen.
Are you right on the college campus itself, or?
Yeah, I'm actually working for the residential living. So I kind of, we take care of the buildings where the kids stay, dorms and stuff.
Okay, awesome. Congratulations.
All right, man. It's good stuff. I'm glad we were able to share. Thank you for sharing. And so we're going to move right along. I started to say, let's throw this paper out the window and just have a group huddle. But we're gonna stay on track for what we have, and so we don't want to get too much out in the air. And so the next aspect or topic of discussion that we're gonna discuss, and that is virtual family therapy. Wow, that's right on point. Here we are doing virtual. And Mr. Serrano come on, and we've been having an open discussion. Now we're on the topic of virtual family therapy. This article says online therapy options may be available when family members can't attend therapy at the treatment center. Your therapist can plan online family therapy sessions for the most convenient time for multiple people in your life who can impact your recovery. Your therapist techniques during in-person sessions can be applied to virtual family therapy. Virtual family therapy can be conducted via home phone, cell phone, laptop, tablet, or desktop computer. The treatment center will use a safe and confidential online platform to connect with your family members. For many families, virtual therapy offers convenient and flexible alternative to in-person sessions. And I'm glad that this article lets us know that when we're doing virtual, it has to be in a safe, confidential area, space, so that we don't disclose certain information that shouldn't be disclosed.
And that's very good when COVID hit, because a lot of people were out there and they may not have gotten to be able to have their therapy sessions.
Yes.
They were still connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing how technology allows us to stay connected, even if we can't be, like it says, in person.
Right.
Right? Because a lot of people, they was really needing to attend meetings, needing to have that information.
Even, not to get off the subject, but even nursing homes, people couldn't go in and see their loved ones, and that was affecting the patients itself. So imagine, being inpatient and going through different things, and you can't even look through the window to say hi or anything, so it's rough.
Yeah, it gotta be rough, And so, anyone want to share about any virtual information? Have you ever experienced that?
Not virtual as far as addiction, but of course my doctor's appointments are virtual now.
Okay.
So
we had to do our hours. We did virtual. We had to do NA and AA meetings. We did NA here, but we did AA meetings virtual.
Yes.
We did NA here, but the virtual we had to do AA because it was around our work schedule, and it worked out really good. And they were open to they have it round the clock if you need that stuff.
Yeah.
Like to the hour, and they're all different. And I was impressed by that. And they invite you in. And they talked, the whole everybody together, just like here.
I mean, we were in Florida and everything when we did them, so you could connect it. All different locations.
And it's, the good thing about it, for family members, especially if you have a family member who works and who's not able to make an in-person meeting at a certain time. And say like now, here it is going on 6 o'clock. Mr. Serrano, he just got off work,
When I went through the grieving process with my son, I went through the prosecutor's office with an awesome lady, and she worked around my work hours. So when I got home, I could go in the privacy of my bedroom and do that grieving sessions with her. And that was really good because it was one-on-one. Nobody else was around. They didn't have to see me cry. It was all private.
Yeah.
Therapists now do that too. A lot of mental health therapists, like they adapted it adopted it when COVID was here, but then they adapted their practices to allow them to continue to do their sessions via virtual, which is awesome because you can go in your bedroom and have your private session without anybody knowing what you're talking about, and you still feel comfortable. So yeah, I know a lot of people that do that actually.
Yeah, save a lot of time, and it's just, you know,
They do group therapy like that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Sense of freedom, you know, to be able to speak to people who are non-judgmental, and you know, you don't mind sharing and open up. You know, not everything. You know, some people, you know, don't feel comfortable sharing everything, but it's good to share to get it out.
Correct, and it helps.
It really does. You know, to hold stuff in, you know, it really hinders your healing process. So let's go on to the next topic of discussion.
Family therapy and aftercare. Once you complete a treatment plan, services do not have to stop. Your treatment team will help you create an aftercare plan that connects you with community resources that support recovery. Examples may include peer support groups, job placement services, education, housing, and child care support. Family therapy is often considered a type of aftercare service. Family members are part of your environment and must learn skills to provide the healthiest environment possible to help you avoid relapse. In addition, your family members are in a form of recovery themselves. They need support to maintain boundaries, stop enabling behaviors, and work on their physical and mental health. Aftercare services for families may involve 12-step facilitation groups or working privately with a family therapist.
Wow. And so the aftercare part and the aspect of the family need therapy as well.
You know, it's hard for anybody, whether you're an addict or you're grieving someone, it's hard for you to ask for help. In any level, it's hard. You're admitting that you have a situation that you can't handle yourself, and you need assistance and help. Wow. So it's like that first step. You may go into a group and be very quiet until you start feeling comfortable, and you're afraid that people are going to judge you. You know, they're going to talk about you. You know, and I see that on both sides.
I remember going into some groups. I've been in quite a few groups in my life, and what really got me to start sharing, I heard similar stories, or someone sharing their story that was similar to mine, and it was relatable, and I was like, wow.
Right.
You know, it wasn't the exact identical incident or situation, but it was a lot of similarities that I was like, wow, I'm not alone.
Right. And, you know, it helped me for working with addiction, for hearing other stories of individuals who have been struggling. It connects me with how my son felt. You know? So it's an understanding for me more, because I never understood it.
From that perspective.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right. Wow. That's very interesting. Yeah. All right, so you want to add on, Michelle, or you go?
Okay.
You feel like read one more?
Will do.
All right, so the next topic of discussion. Oh, you want to add something, Mr. Serrano? I'm sorry.
Just like she said, the housing for the aftercare, I know that, and you helped me with this at one point in my life, where I did the Oxford House, where my therapist was like, you know, we recommend you don't go home right away, go into an Oxford House. And I was kind of iffy about that, but I'm gonna tell you what, I mean, if you go into the right sober house or Oxford House where it's ran correctly and stuff, it's awesome. You know, like I had a great group of guys that, you know, we would watch over each other. And it was hard to explain to my family. I was like, yeah, I think it's best for me, because coming out of the bubble from when you're in, you know, you're in a bubble. So when you come out, you need some type of, you know.
A safety net.
Yes, you need some kind of accountability. You know, like somebody to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And that's what the group of guys did for me. Like, you know, you have your freedom, you do what you have to do, but you're still held accountable to one certain point to keep yourself out of those conditions and clean. So, I mean, Oscar housing helped me a lot, and therapy was the one that, the aftercare was the one that suggested it, and I did it, and Mr. Craig Dingle helped me a lot, so I appreciate that.
May I ask a question?
You're welcome, man.
Mm-hmm.
When you went to your Oxford house, did you have to be interviewed by every individual there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You have to be interviewed by every individual there.
And they all have to accept you,
And
correct?
they all have to be there, and if one person by whatever reason is not there, they cannot vote until they let that person know the notes of how the person interviewed.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
for
it goes
sharing.
by vote.
Yeah, that's what I had thought.
Thank you for sharing, man. And I don't get the credit for it. It's a team of us that works here. But if we can help you in any way, we're here for you, man. All right? So the next topic of discussion.
Benefits of family therapy and recovery. Family therapy and recovery has rewards and benefits for each family as a whole and for each member separately. The uses of family therapy and addiction treatment typically include the following: restore broken family relationships, replace negative interactions with positive processes, teach positive behaviors to support healing and growth, improve communication with within the family, provide education regarding addiction, foster healing from the effects of addiction, leverage the family to influence change. Family therapy promotes change and healing in dysfunctional families. It also increases the likelihood of a loved one entering and staying in recovery treatment and maintaining recovery a long time.
Wow.
Mr. Serrano, can I share something with you?
Yes.
As a mother, I have 5 children, and I hear you struggling with the communication with your mother. That's what I hear it as. I mean, you need to open up. You need to keep the communication. I'm going to step over here so you can see me. You want to keep that communication open. I just want to tell you, the same way you have your daughter, and if you think about different things you've done, you haven't always done things the right way, right? But if your daughter tells you something is hurting her or something is bothering her, the way you're reacting to something, then you're going to try to change those behaviors. But if you don't communicate, if she doesn't communicate that to you, you wouldn't know that. Because no mother, none, not me, not her, I don't care if you have 5 kids, 10 kids, no mother knows everything. And it's a learning experience. Life is a learning experience day to day. You think you figured it out. I thought I figured out life 2-3 times. Didn't figure out anything. You know what I mean? I lost my son at 22 years old to addiction. And there's a lot of things that I learned after he passed. So I'm just saying, be patient, but keep that communication going with your mom. And know that it's hard. It's hard being a mom of an addict. It's hard. The first time I was able to breathe after many years at night, because I was always afraid of getting that phone call that my son was found here or he was gone there or something went wrong or, oh my gosh, did he go to jail? Like all these things in fear every night. Couldn't sleep. The first, and I'm guilty of it, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but when my son passed away, it changed because the hurt came, but the fear of losing him or getting that phone call was gone. So just remember that when I'm saying that to you, because it's major for your mom, and she's learning too. She has to learn how to trust you again, but it's fear. It's scared. She's scared. She already lost a child. She loves you dearly. She might not tell you the right way. She might not handle it the right way. But nobody knows. There's not books that tell us how to be parents or how to react to a situation ever. So just be a little, I mean, I understand you are. But just like you're learning, she's learning. And you got to meet somewhere in the middle. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
I think that's some good advice. I mean, I'm over here, and I mean, I'm just, full of emotion right now because I have a mother, and, I put her through a lot. So just, work with her and be patient with what you're doing and keep up the good work, man.
Amen.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And you're starting to do that already because you're calling her and saying, Mom, I'll be home in 5 minutes. So it's releasing that fear that she has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
hey,
she
Mom,
tells
I
me-
got to
she
work
tells me-
today.
She tells me it helps her a lot when I do
Yes.
call her.
Correct.
Sometimes I forget, but when she does call me, I make it a point to pick up.
Right.
I don't ignore it. So.
I can remember telling my son, and my other son does this now because he knows that I have that fear. He'll say, Mom, I made it to such and such's house. Or when he gets home at night, I'm sleeping, hey, Mom, I'm home. And that helps me because the worst fear is getting that telephone call. And you probably have experienced it, getting a phone call at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and thinking the worst. And it may not be, but it may be.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah. All right.
But you're on the right track.
Yeah, you're on the right track. So we're almost done here. Some good information. I think the next one, topic of discussion is going to be our last. And we're going to close it out with this one here. And I believe it's my turn.
Yes.
All right. When is family therapy not recommended? Not all family members will be receptive to participating in family therapy. Sometimes, even if your family is receptive, it may be recommended to avoid family therapy, like in situations where it can be more harm than good. For an example, may include if there is a current or past history of violence or abuse within the family, right? If a family member has an untreated mental health condition that could interfere with progress. Lastly, if a family member cannot participate consistently due to demographics, attitudes, or any other reason. If a therapist feels family therapy is too toxic, they may work with you on establishing healthy boundaries and coping skills. Implementing self-care techniques may influence other family members to do the same. And when they are healthier, family therapy will be beneficial. All right? And so boundaries, healthy boundaries, coping skills, and implementing self-care techniques. All right? And so that is very
That's crucial.
It's important. You know, I know when I was in treatment, we used to go through what we call behavior modification techniques. We used to have to do breathing exercises, self-examination, all types of things that will help us to remain calm, not to respond inappropriately, thinking pleasant places as opposed to negative environment. They call it desensitization, you know, and that was basically to get us to put ourselves, take ourselves out of the negative and place ourselves into a positive, calm, and relaxed scene. And so that's it for me.
I do know that when I went to family therapy with my son, at the time, I did not allow his stepfather to go. And some other individuals I did not allow to go because it would have been too hostile until we got to work things through. A lot of hard feelings, you know, and his brother didn't go at the time either. And it wasn't because of him being upset. It was the thought of somebody being in his ear and saying, don't be around him, you know? So we had to work out different things within our family to be able to do that family group.
Nice.
And, you know, the family group consisted of, you know, me and my 2 sisters and my father, because my son was very close to my mother and my father. So that's how we started it and worked from there.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Because you never would think, you know, about the toxic aspect.
Correct.
You know, where, like it says, it can stir up old emotions, attitudes, and people may flame up because of whatever reason.
And, you know, the worst thing that anybody can say in any relationship is, my child will never do that. Don't ever, ever think that. That shoe, you're not going to wear that shoe. If you're lucky, you don't have to, but you never know.
You never know. That's right. And so one of the things that I've learned, you know, when you've been blessed, be a blessing to somebody else. So we're here to help each other along the way. So, you got anything you want to say, Michelle? All right. What about you, Mr. Serrano?
No, I'm good.
You good? Thanks, man, for always, you know, coming and attending. And good luck on your new journey. You say you messed up 15 years pension. Hey, man, like you say, you got another chance at it.
You're still young.
You're still young.
You got 15 years to go. Handle that.
And before I go, here's the kicker. My daughter graduates next year, right?
Yeah.
Once I get a full year in at rowing, she goes to college for free.
That's right. There you go.
That's amazing.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
And incentive to stay and keep myself going.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're my fire, my kids. So
Yeah.
You know, I just want to say thank you, because being on the other side with my son, I am also learning from you. And I'm here to help whoever I can.
All right, man. Just know that you got some support over here as well. All right?
all right.
All right. Until the next
Have a
time.
good night.
Take care.
All right.
All right. Yep. That was good.
I would not be